No intro. Run you through a few tips and tricks for editing your files. This is primarily for editing after you've already put the work in, just showing a few things that'll speed this up. So let's get started. First one, I like to turn on spell check. This is similar to Word. You just use it the same way. As you can notice right now, you don't see much here. I got a little yellow there. And we'll just go ahead and turn this on so that way as you're typing along, it'll show an underline of a red or some other color to show. So one of the best things you can do here, go up to Indesign, Preferences, click Spelling. This will go ahead and open up this little window. And in this window, you'll see you can actually change. You want to find misspelled words, repeated words, uncapitalized sentences, and enable dynamic spelling. That's what you want. And I can actually change this to change the color of what each one looks like. So repeated words are green, I have uncapitalized purple. Misspelled words I'll have as red. Say OK, and you'll see here all of my misspelled words have showed up now in red. This is pretty much the same as you would expect in Word. You can actually right click on it and you can change the word here. Now I've noticed this doesn't always work very well, and sometimes it changes words that are actually spelled correctly. I don't know why, but sometimes it just doesn't seem to notice them. So it's a nice easy way to change these few words here. That spring. All right, and you can also go edit spelling and dynamic spelling just to turn it on. So InDesign Preferences spelling will actually give you the options, and this here will give you the ability to turn it on. You can also have it check spelling and autocorrect, but we'll get on to autocorrect in a few minutes. All right, or I guess right now, here is autocorrect. Autocorrect is actually, instead of being able to right click on it and change spelling, autocorrect will actually automatically correct the words for you. This is great to have on if you're writing a lot, or if you're putting a novel-like thing in, or if you're just find that you're misspelling one word a lot. And we'll go in here and we'll go to InDesign, Preferences, and Autocorrect, and you can enable it right here. You'll notice all of these words come up. These are all misspellings of one and what it'll change it to. You can actually also add, and this works great if you have a business name, maybe it's kind of long. I can add ARCG, which is the name of a rock climbing guide, and I'll put Alaska Rock Climbing Guide. And so every time I would do that now, just type in ARCG and it'll automatically input Alaska Rock Climbing Guide. So it's a good way to do shorthand. Okay, so we'll enable autocorrect. And the third one, paragraph marks. I haven't had them on yet. These are actually quite useful, especially if you're doing something like a guidebook or a tour book or something that has a lot of different text in different ways. Easy way to do it is just go to Type and Show Hidden Characters down here at the bottom. And you'll see it has paragraph marks. It's got little dots. You can zoom in here. It's got little dots in between. And that's, of course, for space. So if I had another space, you can see each one is like that. So this is really helpful, as you can see if there's a paragraph or if there's extra spaces or anything like that. Changing the layer color, so I'll bring this panel in really quick. You can see this layer right here. Changing the color of this layer, whatever layer that text is on, will actually change the color of the paragraph marks. Cool little tip. I like mine blue. Okay. Next one, we are at number 4 here, removing spaces. You can remove double spaces. Now, a lot of people still find it necessary to do the double space at the beginning and end of each sentence. And so this is a great way to remove them all at once, because it can be really tedious to try to go through and look for each one of these dots and delete them. So you want to go to Edit, Find and Change, or Control or Command F, and you'll get up this window here. This window actually has a lot of ability to do things. You can look for specific words, and so if I wanted to say like walk off and I wanted to change it to walk off with a dash, it would now find all of those, and I can say change them all at once, and it would change all of them in the document. Or if you select a text box, it'll just be in that text box. But for the changing spaces here, removing spaces, we're going to say, click on query. I'm going to go custom, multiple space to single space. This is saying that find all of the multiple spaces, change to a single space. Change all, 19 replacements made, and you can see it's all been fixed. That's also one of the reasons it's really important to do it properly whenever you want to add a space using paragraph styles or the settings here, because if you just do this by going on a text box and add, oh, I want it to go over further and I want this one to go over further, then anytime you go to change multiple space to single, it'll turn it back. So it's important that you do it properly so that later on when you're doing your editing, it goes cleanly. And that is removing spaces. Number 5, Story Editor. Story Editor is really helpful. I use it a lot because I make guidebooks, and whenever I'm using Story Editor, I like to open it on places where I'm not sure exactly where the text goes or how it looks. I'll show you what Story Editor looks like. You can hit Command Y, or you can go Edit and edit in Story Editor. And it opens up a little window that looks like this. Now, one thing you'll notice is that you've got regular text, Garamond, and poem header. I've created a few paragraph styles, and the paragraph styles that is applied to that paragraph will show up over here. I also have a single character style in here, but character styles don't show up in this story editor, just the paragraph styles. You'll also notice right here in the red, that's overset text. So it's text I couldn't quite see there that was overset. And I can actually change it in here, so I can go up and go, oh, I need to remove this. Oh, I still have a bunch of overset text. Well, I don't need this either. And there we go. Now my text is correct. Okay, and you can see the changes have been automatically made. All right. Let's go to number 6, Preflight Panel. The Preflight Panel is mandatory for final editing, especially if you have a lot of pictures. It can save you a lot of time, and also fonts. So right now I'm in preview mode here, but if I'm in normal mode, you can see it looks like this. This is preview mode, sorry. And then this is normal mode here. So in preview, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong. I can't even tell that my font is incorrect here. But if I go into preview mode, I can see that that highlighting means my font's not there, and that little question mark means that picture is missing. But if I go down here in the bottom of the screen, you see it says 3 errors. So if I open that up, it brings up the Preflight Panel. You want this to obviously say 0 errors when you're about to print your book. This says I have a link, missing link. This picture is missing. I can click on it, and it'll go right to it. You can also see over here in this side panel, this links panel, it's got that little question mark, and I can tell it to relink and go relink that file. So, also in the Preflight Panel, you'll see it can tell you there's missing fonts and overset text. This is really nice for missing fonts and overset text because it'll tell you exactly what page it is on. If you have a 100-page document and you're not exactly sure where an error might be, you just click on this number, it'll bring you right to that page. Very helpful. Okay, and I think that's all we have for today. So hopefully those helped, and I'll see you in the next video.